Hello and welcome to Palworld. This is going to be a playthrough that I record and post to YouTube. We're going to kind of just speed through character creation. But you get quite a few options to customize your character to make it look like whatever you want. I prefer the big purple guy. It does warn you that you cannot edit your character at this time. It is planned for a future update. But once you set your character, that is your character. You'll spawn in here, and directly behind where you spawn in, there is a couple of chests, an egg, a jade monk statue, and a dungeon. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to go get our base set up. Your base also serves as your fast travel point, so do keep that in mind. But we'll grab this one right here. A castaway? Been a while since someone who didn't stink of pals washed up here. This island is a living hell. The people I came with aren't with us any longer. They were eaten by pals. Here, take some basic supplies. And they give you 10 wood. I have a spot that I have kind of really preferred because it gives you quite a few resources. It's down one more plateau from this, but you have access to trees, one node of iron, several stone nodes, and then some paldium along the water's edge there. And the plateau is about as big as the blue zone that is put down from a pal box. But yeah, just kind of showing you around. Across the way there is another Jade Life Monk statue, but some paldium nodes, multiple trees. Also, it's relatively defensible, as the only way that you'll be able to approach is either across that bridge or from what is now directly behind my character. And in my experience, generally if you get raided, it's from the area directly ahead of you. So I'm going to run around, grab some quick resources, definitely grab the berries. I'm going to speed this up because there's a lot of resource gathering. And if you look across the way, there's a treasure chest, we'll grab that. Go pick up every stone we see, every stick. And basically just get enough resources that we can get our PAL box down, and that'll enable satellite crafting. So that you don't have to have the stuff in your inventory to craft it, you can just put it in a storage container somewhere inside the blue circle that surrounds your PAL box. And you get a few technology points, so I'm going to go ahead and spend those real quick, and early level you can just grab pretty much everything. As you get further down the list, you'll see where you have equipment specific to certain PALs, and you won't be able to unlock that until you catch the PAL. So we're going to take this Cativa, and I'm going to beat him until he's my friend. Getting him good and banged up. Too close. One more throw. And we captured our first PAL. Go ahead and speed through some more quick grabbing resources. And then you want to kind of put it out in the center so that the circle is centered around the plateau. You don't want a whole lot of space above or below. Or maybe you do if you want to build a multi-tiered base. And as you get into the later levels, that's looking more and more appealing. In my other game that is much further along than this one though, it's been my experience, if you build a building, go ahead and go 2 walls high. Otherwise you may have PALs get stuck. And also, if you go too high, it's easier to build over your PAL box if you want to build around that. However, you are not able to place that on foundations, or place foundations within like a 2-block radius around it. Or 2 squares, like your foundation squares. It's about 2 in every direction that you can't place a floor around it. So also keep that in mind when you're building your more elaborate base. Also, I would not recommend building on top of a wood platform system because inevitably you will be raided by fire pals. They will set your base on fire and it will destroy your entire base because your foundation will burn and everything on it will also break. You won't lose resources, but you will lose a ton of time getting everything replaced. So right now I'm working on getting me an axe and a pickaxe. I'm not super worried about weapons yet until I get 3 or 4 pals working at my base, and then it really starts to make sense to go out after specific pals. During the upgrade process, you'll have to put down berry patches, and you will absolutely want pals to work your berry patch for you. As much stuff as you can automate, the better. It just makes the game so much easier when you can get your pals to do it for you. Went ahead and grabbed that lifelink statue. There was a bug early game. There's a patch that came out, I want to say it was the 8th or early the 9th, that supposedly fixed the bug with the lifelink effigies. It didn't affect your catch rate, but it would display a erroneously high catch rate. It would display a rate higher than it actually was. I'm going to go ahead and throw my Cativa here at this Paldium node, get him to mine that up for me. And while he's working on that, I'm going to go ahead and run back over here and get the next thing on the craft. Go ahead and get my axe made. I'm making the axe first because I can get the Cativa to mine for me, but he will not lumberjack. He will not go lumbering, but he will cut down stone. So now I can gather wood. Yeah. Go ahead and cut that out because there's quite a bit of resource gathering. It took me about an hour and a half to record this, and by the time I chopped down or sped up the resource gathering, it was about 45 minutes. So I would say it's fair to say about half my time was spent just gathering resources. But that's early game in a survival game, so, and it really didn't feel like a grind, so to speak, because there's always so much stuff to explore around and, you know, random chance at a new rare spawn of a pal, or maybe even catching a lucky pal. Alright, I need some more wood to put down my storage box. Looking for my pickaxe, and I see that I didn't have it because I forgot to pick it up. Kind of like how I forgot to save the original voice for this video when I added it to track 2 of audio and then didn't record track 2 of audio. So hopefully in the next one there will be live voiceover and I won't have to do it secondary. But now I can clear out my inventory to make it easier to gather yet more resources. Pick up this stone and paladin fragment and help the cat get this knocked out. I'll go ahead and speed that up as well. And I've got an increased stat point so I can bump my stamina up. Generally I'll pump my stamina to about 120, 130, and then I'll increase my carrying capacity up to about 400, and then I'll push stamina up a little bit more, and then carrying capacity up a little bit more. And then generally when I get stamina around 150 or so and carrying capacity around 400, I'll throw a point into health. But so far that's been fine for the way I play. However, in the settings I did turn off drops on death, just because this is going to be a recorded playthrough and I will end up just editing out me running back to get my stuff. So I figured why waste the time if it's just going to hit the cutting room floor anyway. So for this, like I said, this playthrough, everything else is just default settings, and then I remove the drops on death. And you'll see that here coming up because I do die a couple of times in this episode. But now we've got the basic tools, so next we need a bow and arrow. That's my primary weapon. I don't bother with melee too much in the early game. If you're not trying to damage a whole lot, you can just use your pickaxe or your axe. And this was a first for me on this playthrough, but I had a wandering merchant just wander into my camp. And hang out in the camp for the duration of this recording. I haven't been back on that save since this play, to see if he's despawned when I log back in or not. But if you're curious, be sure to catch the next episode and we'll find out if he's there or not. But it looks like he has the same stuff that the small village merchant usually has as well. We'll get Palspheres going, we'll get the cat working on that, and gather more resources. So I went out, gathered more resources, and grabbed me another level while I was there. We'll put that one into stamina. Or not stamina, carry weight. Carry weight will be pretty important until you can automate all of your major resource gatherings, such as iron and stone. Palladium I haven't found a way to necessarily automate yet, but there are large rich nodes in dungeons, and I believe next episode we'll probably go ahead and try to run a dungeon as well. But yeah, the merchant's still just hanging out, and I haven't caught him. He's not in my PAL box. He just wandered up, and I kind of hope he stays. It would be really convenient. Definitely make cleaning out storage a lot easier. Yeah. But it's time we go ahead and add another PAL to the base. It's needed for the upgrade, so we'll work on pitching this little land wall. They do have handiwork, so they're not awful to have at your base. We'll run over and pop him in. I believe then we can upgrade the base then. And keep the cat working on the arrows. Yep. And get attacked by a random land ball. And we've got another freebie. So there's our base upgrade. And next we need a shoddy bed. The bed does have to be built on a wooden foundation and below a roof. So I just built a quick little cube here. Need some more lumber. Speed through that. Smack this tree down. Alright. And I meant for that to be the back wall and leave the opening facing out, but it's kind of whatever. I'm going to be rebuilding this soon enough as it is anyway, so basically a 5-sided box. And then we need some more wood for the bed. So we'll run over and knock down this tree. Alright, plop in our shoddy bed. Get it right up there to the back. And then my pals can come build it for me. Alright, there's the next upgrade, and then we need straw pal beds. Go ahead and get their feeder down as well. Something I have learned since I recorded this, you actually shouldn't be feeding your pals just raw berries. It does not rejuvenate their sanity any, and they will eventually go crazy if you're only feeding regular raw berries. The way around this is you can do baked berries, and it's still a fairly low quality food, and it does have some sanity regeneration though, so that will help with that. And it's also about the simplest that you can make so that you can speed through production. All you need is a campfire. You don't even need the cooking pot. Once you get the cooking pot, you can do the tarts, and I believe that is a much better food. And now we see night kicks in, and that's why I went ahead and built the torch first, because I wasn't sure how long it would take me to get all the other stuff built that I needed to avoid the cold, namely like a campfire. But with the torch out, I can go ahead and get my pal beds put down, and I'm out of resources. I only got enough for 2, so I've got to go get more. And you'll notice a theme with that particular spot. Every time I try to build there, I'm out of resources. I didn't notice it at the time, but going back and editing down the video, I did notice that. So we have 3 pals. We're going to go ahead and put down 4 beds because we're not far from an upgrade. And since it's nighttime, all the pals are sleeping, so if I want the upgrade, I'm going to have to do it myself. And go ahead and get the berry plantation in the technology menu. We'll grab the ranch while we're there. I'm not going to grab the parachute because I'm going to go grab a celery and make celery's gloves. It'll be one of the unknown buttons, but that is a easier glider to get, or at least in my experience it's been an easier glider to get, and it is much better than the basic glider. I actually still prefer it over the Mega Glider. And then after the celery, a Gale Claw also makes a exceptional glider. So that's things to keep in mind. Equipment is always available, and I do have a glider on me just in case I switch out my pals and forget. But it's an early game. If you're not trying to expend as many resources, you can go straight for the pal instead. Alright, so we've got the berry plantation to build, and with that we'll also need pals to work it. And there are a couple of pals that are relatively close by, or spawns of pals that are relatively close by, I should say, that will work our berry plantation for us. And then also my favorite starter pal is just down the way from here as well too. You'll find a little ways down the hill from this place, there's another fast travel. There are quite a few fast travels sprinkled all over the map. If there is a particular gap you do find yourself wanting to farm in or go to on a regular basis and there's not a close fast travel, it might be a great place to slap down a base if you can find a level spot. It is more difficult building on an unlevel spot, so do keep that in mind. Not to say that there aren't some people building some pretty magnificent bases out there. I'm not quite that talented. I tend to build relatively simplistic, more function than form, but it's my game, I guess, and that's the way I'll play it. If you want me to try to build an amazing base, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think I should build. If I start getting quite a few views on these videos, I will start adding a streaming day once a week. So if you're enjoying the series, please be sure to go ahead and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, we got 1 feed box down and we are out of the resources again to build the next one. So I'm going to run over and grab some lumber real quick. Alright, we went and grabbed some resources. We'll drop them off there in the storage container to get my weight down. And we've got some pal balls done, so we're going to grab them. Alright, off to get pals. There is Fox Sparks. That is my favorite starter offensive pal.
Yeah.
On my higher level playthrough, actually, I've been going out and catching them and condensing them to get the Huggy Fire up. But Fox Sparks has the ability to do Huggy Fire, and basically they're a flamethrower that you can carry around. You have to build the harness, and to do so you need 5 flame organs, so you do have to catch quite a few of them. Now I'm hot, probably because I'm on fire, but that's 1 off the list that we're looking for right now. Here's number 2, the Blue Moss. They have the planting ability, so they will sow the seeds of our berry plantation. And while our berry plantation is not up and running yet, we need a source of berries. So I'm going to run around and grab these. this is just a beautiful game. I'm absolutely loving the scenery. And we can see an Eikther deer over there. I'm not going to pick a fight with him. He's not on the list of pals we're looking for today. And that's just going to be a lot of resources and a lot of pal spheres that I don't have at the moment. So we're going to head over here and see if we can find a pangolin and a celery. That's the other two we're looking for on this expedition. Here is the next closest fast travel, so we're going to go ahead and run over and grab that. Alright, and off in the distance over that hill there is another life monk statue. I'm not going to bother grabbing it yet because I don't have a glider, and it's a lot easier to get it with a glider. But up here in this archway is another one. And then you can also talk to this person, the skilled islander, and they will give you 5 paldium fragments. So it's worth stopping to have a little chat for a second. Alright, there's 5 paldium fragments. We'll grab our life monk statue, our effigy, and then there's a journal entry over here. We'll grab that as well. There's another Gumos, but we don't really need another one. But there is our pinglet. So we're going to go ahead and pick that fight. Yep, probably should have dodged that, but I didn't. But here, have an arrow to the face. Body shots.
Yeah.
A little bit of a wiggle on that arrow there, or a bow there. But that's our pinglet, so now our watering is taken care of. And a couple of celeries just happen to be on the beach here. We're going to pick a fight with level 2. Let's see if we can get him in the bag pretty quick. Nope, we managed to anger the other one. Missed the shot there. Oh, he's just absolutely not wanting to be my friend. So we'll shoot him a few times. Now there's a 75% chance to be my friend. We'll keep firing with this one. And at the time I didn't notice if he actually popped out. And is directly behind me and I haven't seen it yet. But we captured the level 4. Another ball for you. And there we go. And a level. Go ahead and pump a little bit more into stamina. Bring us up to 140. And I think we're going to call that a successful raid. We got some technology points to spend now. So we're going to pick up the Celery's gloves. We want the Foxbox harness, so he can be our friend in combat. The Palgear workbench is where we build it. The Statue of Power is where you can turn into effigies. Logging site and stone pit each provide their resource. And then we'll go ahead and pick up the bat, just in case. Because once we start getting better ranged weapons, then there will be a real issue with killing pals I'm trying to capture. And since we have the resources, we'll go ahead and plop down the other berry plantation. Just slide it in nice and tight next to the first one. There we go. Let them build that for me. The lamb ball snap into action. And we're going to need a couple of more beds, so we'll go ahead and slap those down while we're at it. Amount of resources, so we're going to go back to the top corner and then wonder why it doesn't go down. Yeah, I realized. So we'll let them finish building an extra couple of beds. And we can go get our PAL box upgrade again and put a couple of more friends to work at our base. Nope, I needed to get a campfire down, so we'll go ahead and get that going. And just to show you when they help, it absolutely speeds stuff up. That's why you need all the friends you can have at the base. Alright. And we'll pop out one of the land balls and put in the Kumos and the Dinglet. And they will take care of our berry farms for us. And we'll go ahead and drop off the extra fox sparks as well. And move the celery up, so we've got 3 slots open. Go ahead and use some berries. And we'll cook up the lamb balls that decided to not be my friend. And pop the berries into the feed bowls so everybody can eat. Fox sparks will make food for me. And I think it's about time we got our Statue of Power and our Palgear workbox now. Which means it's time to gather to get more resources. And also the logging site and the mining site. And then we will get passive wood and stone coming in from our pals at the base. We'll go ahead and take our food. Grab some more resources. We'll get them dropped off. Pick up the last of the pal spears I had to make in. Repair my gear. I'm gonna need to repair my cloth outfit soon, but I don't have enough cloth at the moment. So that's just something to keep an eye out for, or I'll just have to go on another land ball rampage. Eventually I will get the range set up, and then I can just have them farm cloth for me, or farm wool for me that I can turn into cloth. And when placing your benches down, I would recommend leaving enough space to walk your character around them. That way if you get a bunch of friends helping you, and you need to either snatch a few off as they get done, or you just want to help as well to speed things up, you'll have the access to be able to do that. Otherwise you'll be picking up your pals and stopping them from working. So we're going to go over here into the corner where nothing else would really fit anyway, and plop down our Statue of Power just inside that blue line. No, not tilted. And that'll work. There we go. I'll go ahead and get that started, and everybody comes over and gives me a hand, but we're going to speed it up because nobody wants to watch me smack a hammer around all day. Alright, we're ready for yet another upgrade. Now it's time for the stone pit, the logging site, and a crusher. I believe I need one more level before I can build the crusher, but I already have the logging site and mining site paid for, or bought with technology points. So it's time to get them plopped down. And I need cloth and palladium fragments for Celery's gloves. And then I'm going to need more fire organs for Firefox's, or Foxparks' gloves. Yeah, time to get some cloth. And I've already got several land balls, so I don't necessarily really need a whole bunch more. I will need chickens later for eggs. But yeah, we're just going to kind of speed through the rampage here. Just really working on clearing up the intro tutorial in the upper right hand corner. But we get a couple cloth going. Alright, we're ready for Celery's gloves. We'll get them going. I'll go ahead and speed that way up because it was nighttime, so nobody come over and help me. And the equipment does take quite a while to craft, so that's something to keep in mind. Give it a quick test and see how celery does. Not too shabby. The wandering merchant is still standing over there in the corner. resource gathering. We'll go ahead and drop off our loot in the box. We got some more land ball mutton. If you sort right now, it's technically a glitch, but when you sort, it removes the timer or resets the timer on your food, so it won't spoil. Use it at your own discretion, I suppose. I know some people would consider it cheating, others consider it a glitch, maybe it's by design, but you also have to consider that if you were to drop food on the ground, the timer doesn't run. If you leave food in your cooking pot or in your campfire and don't pick it up, it doesn't start to rot. If you put it in storage, it will. If you put it in a cooled container like a fridge or a cooler, it'll decay slower. But if you don't pick it up off the ground, if you just drop it, I believe the timer does stop. I haven't tested it, but I know if you run a ranch and have chickens laying eggs for you, the timers don't start until you pick up the eggs. So, now I need to get some more fire organs to make the Hugging Fire harness for Fox Parks.
Yeah.
There are some Krimas. They are really good in a ranch for wool, but that's not what we're out here for. We're just enough to make our Fox Parks harness. And with this, they will drop them whether you kill them or if you catch them. I am going to go ahead and try to kill them, being really careful not to hit the boom off. There's a good level. Notice I was hungry and I didn't have any food on me. And then he killed me. But that's okay, because I got the last left. He still got captured. If you think that post-death capture is amazing, just wait till a little bit later in the video. Alright, so now I should have the stuff for Fox Parks harness. We'll go ahead and get that making. This time I do get a land ball to help me, so it does go just a bit quicker, but we're still going to speed it way up. Just making sure I have the highest level one. And now we can go ahead and put him to work too, to run our campfire. And we'll get some more land ball bobs going. Nobody's really working the lumber yard yet. I do have some that mine, but I don't have any lumbering pals yet. So that's something to get for next time. But you see they have 67 berries, so the berry farm is working. And Fox Parks got my land bobs made for me. I'll go ahead and make some chickpeas. Some grilled chickpea as well. Later on you can get the food pouch through the ancient technology points, and that'll give you a space in your inventory to drop a stack of food, and then it'll just automatically keep your food topped off so you don't have to worry about hunger anymore. That's one of my favorite things in the game because the hunger can sneak up on you, and once you get to starving, it depletes your health really quickly. Let's go ahead and get our range plopped down so we can start getting our wool farm. Spin the opening around kind of towards the box just to give everything a centralized feel to the exterior of the base. And we got them headed to make that for me. Pick up a few more arrows. Yep, I got them. Just making sure. Drop off all of our extra gubbins. And now we have the crusher. I like to put the crusher near the water just because it takes a water pile to run it. Which means right now it'll be Pinglet that runs it. Later on I do plan on going after a Fin King to run all of my water stuff and my mining because he's a level miner and level 2 watering. So we're getting ready to upgrade the base, which means we're going to need another pal bed. So we'll just go ahead and plop 2 down. Get my friends making that for me. Alright, one more upgrade for that. Next we need a primitive furnace, and we're going to have to build a hot spring. And that's going to be another level. So that'll probably be next episode. So we'll go ahead and finish up our arrows to clear up our workbench. Some more Pelvium. Go ahead and go plug that real quick. I'll throw one more lamb ball in just for the handiwork and the extra wool. As you can see, they're already starting to mine quite a bit of wool. I like to slap a storage down, that way when they go to transport, they don't have to take it far from the ranch, and most of your stuff will end up in the box right there. That's not to say that your pals won't drag stuff to every storage box all the way around your camp. They are a nightmare for keeping organized storage, so I recommend just having plenty of storage and giving up on it. So we're going to go out adventuring for more pals. Let's see what else we can find. I know I'm going to need a lot of water pals to get the pal fluids. I believe it takes 10 pal fluids to make the hot tub. But yeah, I was just out exploring around and I found the Syndicate Tower and it's fast travel. So we're going to grab that fast travel. And when I'm ready to challenge the boss at the tower over there, it'll be a quick trip. But I am in no means ready for that today. Go ahead and get the box sparks out. We'll turn on Huggy Fire. Time to give it a nice test. Got him, and I also burned the pal in the cage, so I'm going to be careful about that. I'll run around over here, get it behind me so I can get it on fire. Try not to hit the piglet because I don't really want to that fight. Huggy Fire ran out, now that's the arrows. And just so you know, yes, you can capture some pals. That is totally a thing. You can also sell them on the black market. Alright, and I believe that was our last Syndicate Thug. Go ahead and grab his loot. And let's see who our new friend is. And yes, Nightwing was eating the body of the Syndicate Thug. That's the chomping sound you hear. The barking sound you hear is my dog Kratos. He's a Cane Corso, an Italian mastiff. 130 pounds of muscle with only a single bark. Anyway, I'll go ahead and catch for this Nightwing. If you'd like me to put a picture of my dogs on my YouTube videos, just go ahead and leave me a comment. And next video I do, I'll go ahead and add a little piece on the end of some of the creatures we have. Grab a us an Eichter deer. They make a really good mount, especially early game. We went and got him. Another quick journal entry. We'll keep pushing on out east. And that's a dungeon. You'll see a cave like that. You'll see them all over the map as you travel around. And if you hit E on the map screen, you can leave a marker. So I'm going to run over to get my marker a little bit more accurate on the map so I can find it again later. Which I'm not dungeon ready now, but I will be. And this way I will remember or be able to find it again when I get there. So we'll just go right over top of that and hit E and then use the boss icon marker for those. Yeah, quite a few to choose from, but yeah, I just actually discovered that while filming this, and it was quite helpful. So now every time I run across a dungeon or a boss that doesn't show up on the map automatically, I can go ahead and mark them. Another land ball. And it seems like the Paldium, the small nodes, always spawn near water. And then when you go in the dungeon, there are the stone node size Paldium nodes. So if you need a lot of it, that would probably be the way to go. There's a Tansy. We're going to go ahead and try to grab him. They have good handiwork, and their PAL ability is an assault rifle. And we've added another friend to the roster. See another Eichter deer, another Gumas, a couple of Caprides that I don't really want to pick a fight with. That's definitely foreshadowing. There's a Life Monk. These can kind of be a pain because they straight run. My Fox Sparks caught one to the face. Tried to take my time and yeah, totally shanked that shot and hit the Capridi anyway. And they were a bit higher level than I wanted to pick a fight with. But yeah, we're gonna go for it anyway. Yeah, I'm not the greatest at combat. I'm relearning mouse and keyboard. I played controller for a really long time, and I'm trying to essentially force myself to learn mouse and keyboard again. And that's definitely going to get me killed. Got two Mega Spheres, so we're going to throw that one. And I'm down. And I don't know why that second one came out, but it was a catch. I caught both of those Caprides. It's a glitch, but it's definitely in my favor, and I will totally take it. Especially for the level it gave me, so. Now my armor's damaged, which is not a big deal. I have the wool to make the cloth, so that's really not an issue. Yeah, there's 5 more cloth. We can knock that out real quick by the power of editing. Don't have any more gear to make. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get the cloth outfit repaired. And my bow while I'm at it. And as well go ahead and repair the pick while I'm there too. I've also found out supposedly you can hit R. I haven't had a chance to test it yet. But while you're at the repair bench, you hit R and it'll repair all. So I'm going to put my Tansy out to plant, because they have a planting skill. Put the Capridy out just for a few extra berries. The Eichter deer to go ahead and lumber for me for a little while until I can get the harness. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you watching so much. Hopefully the quality will improve over time. But go ahead and let me know if you liked it, didn't. Hit the like, thumbs up, thumbs down button. Subscribe if you would. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. And I'm gonna go have a nap.